Good afternoon, everyone. I can hear myself. Thank you for coming to the finale, and we decided to do an Oprah underneath your seat. You're going to find a prize. I wish that was the truth, but it's not. But thank you all for coming out today, and we're having a little technical issues up here, but we're going to improv and get through this training. Oh, stand back. All right. I'm going to back up. Okay.
Yeah, like you can be here probably.
All right. I'm just going to hold the mic and do what I do at church. How's that? So, hello to everyone, and Vanessa's going to be my clicker. Yeah. All right. So let's click. So I'm Vivian Lynn. I'm the Associate Director for the Kane Online, and we have Vanessa Leonardo, who is one of the instructional designers. I see we have Miss Pamela Riley, who's our professional administrator for the team, and we also have some part-timers, academic specialists. And we report directly to Corey Vigdor, who is outside of this presentation, who will walk in momentarily. But let me first tell you what Kane Online is and what we do. What we do really is create standardized courses for the universities for online courses as well as hybrid courses. We actually do research and find innovative technology to enhance our online students as well as traditional students' experience. What we don't do, I think it's important, is that we are not technical support for Blackboard. Even though our team is certified in Blackboard, we're Blackboard administrators for all the educational technology that we're going to discuss today. However, for Blackboard, of course, there's a 1-800 number that you can get assistance and support for. And then also on our webpage, the Center for Online Learning, you'll be able to find all the various partners that we do have. And the good news is they have ongoing free training available for everyone, as well as for lynda.com. We work directly with faculty that are interested in teaching online. We do provide training. However, we are not the individuals that assign instructors to teach classes. That's not what we do. We have a great partnership with the faculty. I'm not sure if there's anyone here that's been a course developer. Any course developers here? Any professors that, oh, okay, hello. We have a course developer that back there in the back that may be able to assist with some questions if you have questions regarding developing courses. And do we have any instructors that have actually taught a Kane online course? Any professors here? All right, I see a professor there. And also, if you're interested in taking the training to teach online, that's also available on the Center for Online Learning webpage. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about really technological services and supports that we have available, the certified partners that we have, and many of you probably have experienced some of the software. And more importantly, we're going to talk about the Blackboard extras. I think mostly everyone here in some shape or form uses Blackboard, but we're going to talk about some of the other specialized programs that you can use directly from your course. And I think the ultimate goal for us all is really to provide our students a world-class education. I think we have the best curriculum, the educators, the advisement, and academic support, but today we're just really going to focus on technology. So we're going to talk about content architecture, academic support, and academic integrity. So there's various different softwares that we currently use, and what we're going to do really is highlight today the software that we utilize, and if we get an opportunity, we'll show you some examples. So we use SoftChalk. Anyone here uses SoftChalk or familiar with SoftChalk? How about VoiceThread? I'm looking, no one? ReadSpeaker. Lynda.com. All right, we got a couple Lynda.coms. Now, you're going to know after today, at a click of a button, you're going to be able to utilize all these different softwares. They're actually embedded inside of Blackboard, and also we can give you URLs to access these services. Well, there's a couple things. There's an LTI that can be set up for lynda.com, and we can embed a URL for you can get directly to it. So yes, it can happen, and it can work out. So if you see me later, maybe we could do a sidebar and I can exchange, but I'm going to do my disclaimer again. We are not technical support. But the wonderful thing is that we do know how to utilize these services and get you the help that you do need. And more importantly, we want to use it, because one thing, if we don't use it, we will lose it. So I want to emphasize on that. We were able to get a lot of funding to provide these services for the students as well as faculty, and we want to make sure that we use it. So what is Soft Chalk? It's a flexible way to create lectures. And I want to talk about that. So most of the time you have lectures for the students, but you can actually take your lectures, digitalize them, have the students do pop-up questions, quizzes, assessments while they're reading the lecture to make sure that they read the lecture, and give them a test at the end. And if you use Soft Chalk right in Blackboard, you can embed all of those quizzes and those scores directly inside of Blackboard. From my experience in teaching in the past, the students never read the lectures. But this is a great way that you can make sure that they read the lectures, that they're assessed as they're going through the lectures, and at the end of the day, you'll have their grade. So you can either give them multiple times to participate in the lecture, but at the end of the day, you're going to have the proof that they did participate, that they did read your lectures. You can put in pop-up quizzes. You can do diagrams. Dr. Marty Schulman has actually utilized this on steroids for the speech pathology program. His students have to do matching with Soft Chalk. They actually have to identify. They have to listen to video clips. They have to do all of this for their lecture. And then when they're done, they're assessed. So that's a tool that you can utilize. Every professor here, and as well as administrators, Soft Chalk is available to you. All you have to do, we'll give you the information, your username, password. We have tons of licenses available. It's very intuitive. And if you go to the COL website, you'll be able to get the information to get training for free and jump in the trenches and participate. If you know how to use Microsoft Word, you'll be able to use Soft Chalk. Now, what about ReadSpeaker? Now, we know that most students, rather they're sitting at a computer, using their iPad or using their mobile devices, you have that lecture you want them to read. They now can read all their lectures embedded with ReadSpeaker. Actually, ReadSpeaker will read their lectures to them. So for those students that are learning on the move or going on the go, you can actually use a lecture, you can embed it in a PDF, but at the click of a button, they can actually hear the words, especially when you're dealing with courses that have really sophisticated technology. It will be pronunciated. So we have a standard ReadSpeaker that pronunciates all of the dialects to the students, but I want to tell you that ReadSpeaker actually does France. We have a French speaker. You can have someone from England. All of these things are available. What we just recently did with ReadSpeaker is that we downloaded the LTI that will be able to put ReadSpeaker directly on the web pages. So if a student is actually going to our site, any of the sites here at the college, they can click of a button and the content will be read directly to them. It's my hope that I'll be able to just show you an example. The easiest clicking a button. And even with ReadSpeaker and Soft Chalk, if the students want to go ahead and print, they can just click of a button, print the lecture out as well. So one of the things that we've tried to do with the various technologies is to really speak to all the different learning styles of the student. Now, how about VoiceThread? Now, VoiceThread is an interactive, I want to say PowerPoint software where students and professors can actually set up an interacting engagement. So say, for instance, you have a PowerPoint that you want to assess the students on. You want them to provide their comments. They're able to use VoiceThread, provide their comments, provide their feedback, upload images, they're able to communicate with their peers, and more importantly, once again, it's integrated directly to the gradebook. So once again, it's another way to reinforce a learning activity with the students. Now, right now we have Comp 3590, professor name, I'll tell you. Bill Kobenslag is actually using it for his Comp 3590 course, and Dr. Jessica Adams is using it for many of her courses. So once again, this is another feature that's readily available to you. If you go to the site, and we can even show you, a click of a button, you can activate VoiceThread and get started immediately. It's like I said, once again, if you have a PowerPoint that you want to do a voiceover, have students mark it up, show that they've actually understand the concept that you're talking about, and then grade them and have their peers critique what they're doing. This is available to you. Now with lynda.com, what you can do is go right to lynda.com and use your username and password that you use for your email and get immediate access to all the resources that are available. So, for instance, if you're interested in photography, it's available. If you want to enhance your Blackboard skills, it's available. If you want to learn more about VoiceThreads, it's available. And to be quite honest, I think, one day in terms of professional development, you can go to lynda.com, take a training, and get your certificate, and you're done. All in favor? Okay. All right, I got a few takers. But more importantly, it goes at your own pace. You can do it, at any time that you want to. You can use it on your PC. You can use it on your mobile device or your iPad. So what academic support do we have available for the students? We have Smarter Measure, Smart Thinking, Starfish, and many publisher materials that are available. And I want to share with you a pilot that we recently did with Dr. Thomas Abraham. So Smarter Measures. As we all know, online learning is not for everyone, whether you're teaching it or a student. We actually have Smarter Measures that we want to encourage you. It's embedded in all the online courses to ask the student to take the assessment. The assessment will share with the students and let them know, are you a good fit for online learning? At the end, more importantly, we can provide the students the necessary resources to make sure that they're ready to take the online course. And I want to say that if they don't do really good on the assessment, we want to encourage them to get their skill sets up to par before they take an online course. Has anyone here have taken the assessment for Smarter Measure? Okay. I want to say we have a long version and a short version, but with Smarter Measure, it really evaluates the students based on their knowledge with technology, whether or not they can type, cognitively, are they able to handle an online course, and then based on their life factors. If these students are working 2 and 3 jobs, it might not be a good fit for them. So we strongly encourage it, and we ask professors also to take this assessment, and that way you'll be readily available to assist the students if they have any questions. Now, what about Smart Thinking? Smart Thinking is also embedded in all the online courses. And what it does is we provide 24 hours, 7 days a week, online tutorial services for students. And we're not talking about your basic math course and your English course. There's tutorial services available for the sciences, for chemistry, for most all science courses, computer technology, as well as Spanish. The list goes on and on and on. Let me ask, has anyone here heard of Smarter Thinking previously? Okay, so our college has a site here that students can go and get tutorial services to assist them with their papers and really making sure that they're correctly laid out in MLA or APA format. And most of the time they can walk in and get the services. What Smart Thinking does is provide the services for students virtually. The students can do tutorial service on demand, or they can set up an appointment with a certified tutor to assist them. Let me say in terms of the credentials for these tutors, all the tutors from Smart Thinking, which is affiliated with Pearson, all have master degrees in their subject matter. So the students will get the assistance that they need, whether it's in the science, statistics, or any other subject matter, to make sure that they're doing it correctly and laying it out. Now, I want to say that the online students have really taken advantage of this resource, and at this particular time, we're negotiating for additional seats. I think that, and it's my hope that this service will be available to all the students, because what we want to do primarily is make sure that we provide comparable services, whether they're on campus or whether they're virtually. And by show of hands, I know we have a lot of traditional teachers here, but most of the courses that, from my experience and my knowledge, most of the professors here are pretty much web in hand. So are we in agreement with that? That means you use some type of, whether it's Blackboard, Pearson, in terms of publishers, some type of internet resource to enhance the student's overall learning experience. Now, Starfish. We also have Starfish embedded, and currently I know that the admission office is looking into this, and hopefully we'll have a campus-wide license. But what Starfish does is it really sends out gentle reminders to the students. We track the students in terms of their participation in the online course. So if the student misses more than 2 days, they're going to get a gentle reminder that they haven't logged in. Also, in the event that a student learning activity goes beneath the standard in terms of their performance, whether it's homework, a project, a group activity, any graded activity, the students once again will get a reminder about, more importantly, that there's tutorial services available to assist you. Maybe you want to reach out to your professor, but we want to make sure that we're really tracking the retention as well as the retention of the students and get the services that they need. Has anyone ever heard of Starfish? All right. And then publisher resources. From my experiences and working with the professor here, one of the things I want to give credit to the publishers, we don't want to regurgitate the textbook, but they have great videos available. They have test banks that professors have utilized, as well as PowerPoint presentations. So show of hands, how many professors here utilize the various publisher resources? All right, thank you. So let me say this. We recently did a pilot for MGS 4010, which is Operation Systems. Now, normally when you use a publisher's information, the students log into the course, the professor has to get a course ID, the student has to get an access code, and then they can utilize the various resources for the publisher. And then most of the students also get an opportunity to have a 14-day grace period for the textbook. Does that all sound familiar? Now, one of the biggest, I want to say, issues that professors have shared with me is after 14 days, the textbook expires, the student doesn't have the textbook, and then once again, the student is behind in the required course material. With the pilot that we currently did just this past term, when the students enrolled in their course, all the content was embedded directly inside of Blackboard. So there was no linking out involved at all. Everything that they needed in terms of content assessments was embedded in the course. All the links that are normally that the students would have to go outside was embedded in the course. The professor was able to just click onto his course and start teaching. He didn't have to worry about getting an access code. He didn't have to worry about a course ID. And also with this pilot, all the students received an ebook. So what did that mean for the students? What we ultimately want to do, I think, is whether it's an online course or a hybrid course, is that once the student logs in, everything that they need in terms of the course content and the resources are available. Overall, the pilot was a success. We're going to run the pilot again. And more importantly, the students were happy that once they logged in, they didn't have to worry about an access code. I guess at the end of the day, there are fees involved, which is something that we'll have to negotiate with Pearson. But the overall experience is, I think, the direction of where we want to go with the institution. Now let's talk about academic integrity, accountability. And one of the biggest things we get, do you have some plagiarism software available for the students? Yes, we have Blackboard Safe Assign, we have Turnitin, we have Respondus Lockdown Browser, Respondus Monitor, and Software Secure. So I think everyone here uses Turnitin, and Safe Assign is just really identical to that. It's really to promote originality for the students, to make sure that they are writing in the correct format and utilizing the correct citations to assist them, really to be great writers. Now, Respondus Lockdown Browser, which is in all our online courses, it hinders the students from actually exploring and going out to the internet to find, to identify additional information, particularly for content assessments or quizzes, and I'm talking low-stake quizzes. So what it actually does is lock down the browser, and what we've noticed is, in terms of students participating, reading, and really not, I want to say, studying as they go along or taking exams as they go along. These students have, we've noticed that the rate of return has been a little more successful. And we had, if Corey was here, he can identify in terms of the retention that we did for online and face-to-face. One of the nursing courses showed that the students actually did better with their assessments. Now, how about software secure? We actually did a pilot with that with MGS 4010, and that is really for your high-stake exams, as well as Respondus Monitor. These students were videoed as they took their exams virtually. Now, I want to say that everything that the student does, whether it's their keyboard, all these things are recorded. And then once the exam is over, our partner, Software Secure, takes the time to review the videos of the students to make sure that they pan their room and that there's really nothing suspicious going on. Also, the faculty, in turn, can also review the videos. In any event that Software Secure does identify someone that they suspect cheating, they flag them. Now, will this catch everyone? No, but I want to say it's a deterrent. Any student, and I want to say this, we give them a practice test to go through the process, to let them know that they're going to need a webcam, to let them know that they're going to be videoed as they participate in these exams, which are mandatory. So through the pilot, we had a couple of hiccups, but I think most of them were user issues. And so I think that with the pilot, we'll be able to better assist other faculty that are interested in using Software Secure. But I want you to know that there are seats available for Software Secure, as well as Respondus Lockdown Monitor available for all of you. And with a click of a button in your Blackboard courses, you're able to activate Respondus Lockdown Browser, as well as Monitor, and require your students to have this component for all their assessments. So my question is, should students leave the LMS for their educational experience? And my response to that is no. Even though we want students to go out and link out and see other things, I think that whatever we can do to make their experience stay within our LMS is a win-win for you, the faculty, as well as the students. But there's other things that we have readily available in Blackboard, and I'm not sure if you're using them, is Blackboard Collaborate. I know some professors use Blackboard Virtual Office, but with Blackboard Collaborate, it really is a web conferencing tool that's embedded directly in Blackboard. So anyone that's using the LMS can use this feature too. And if you want to use it amongst your faculty and in your peers and set up a web conferencing, you can do it. You'll click Tools, you'll click Blackboard Ultra, and you can start your web conferencing immediately. And for students and even faculty, you can record the session and share the link later. And we also have Blackboard Community. So Blackboard Community is something that we're actually in the process of launching, but it allows you in your various departments and programs to create a specialized hub just for your students, whether it's a club or a program, that they can log in and see various resources and tools. It's also a good way for you to share information amongst one another for information with each other. We also have the e-portfolio feature, which allows students to actually build their project as they go through the various courses. And what we like about that most of all is, as you all may be familiar, students are walking around with, from my experience, notebooks full of their works. So we're able to take all their works and their projects and put them in a digitalized format, and at the end, they're able to output them and really take them along with them. But what it also gives you an opportunity is to actually hold on to all the work that the student has done within your course. It's actually been a real success for mostly for writing courses for the students. Now, what about course sites? Right now, we have some professors from using course sites. So course sites really lives outside of the regular Blackboard. You're able to, with your username and password, you are eligible for 5 different course sites. That means that you can set up a Blackboard world pretty much on your own. You can upload the users that you want to participate in your course sites, as well as the students. You don't have to go through the integration that we currently have with Blackboard. So that's available to you as well. And also we have MOOCs. One of the things that we would like to see, and any professor that's interested in showcasing their work to the world, is that with the Blackboard contract, we do have Blackboard MOOCs. Do we have any volunteers interested in doing a MOOC? I see one hand. Please see me thereafter. But it is a great way that we can set it up, showcase, and more importantly, students from all around the world will be able to participate for free and log in. So what do you have to do? With the course sites as well as the MOOCs, all you have to do is provide them a username and password to get access to the course. It's really that easy. You don't have to do anything else. And once they're enrolled, they can participate. And like Blackboard, you can set up various modules for the students to complete the required outcomes for the course. So I'm going to wrap up because I wanted to see if you have any questions. I hope you have some. But my ultimate thing is to encourage you to use the various tools and features that we have available. All the training information that I've shared with you about the various technology is on the COL webpage. And then more importantly, I want to encourage you to go to lynda.com to utilize all the resources that are available. And I want to say there are over 1 million various videos and tutorial services available. And if you have any other further questions, you can also email us at col@kane.edu. We're also, you can also find us on the 3rd floor in the green building, and Pam's going to kill me because I put her office number 321. So please ask any questions that you may have. I really want to take the time to kind of elaborate on all this software that I guess gave you a brief overview. Yes. It sounds like an LTI or a building block issue. So most of the publishers, we do have a partnership with all of them, and even with WebAssign, but what we want to do is look at the building block and the LTI. So once we set that up, and then what you could do is just email me at COL. I want to see how it's set up, because it should be seamless, especially if you have 20 sections. By a click of a button, it should be activated. Yeah, so we do it. Most of the math courses, we have Pearson, we use McGraw-Hill, and who am I missing? Cengage. And we do the integrations with them. It all goes into the gradebook. It's seamless. But more importantly, we have the LTI configuration done and completed. So that sounds like an issue. And if you got 20 sections, it really should be as simple as clicking a button and you're done. So something's wrong there. So we can assist you with that. It sounds like an LTI and a building block. Yes. Absolutely, because what you can do is you can set up sophisticated groups, you know, right within your course. We do have that component available. You can even set them up with the webinar, the web conferencing, that they can meet and they can talk, because what you want to do, particularly for the upper level, is they need that human element. So there's creative ways that we can set up that they can interact amongst one another and complete the projects. So, and the other thing, you might want to take advantage of the e-portfolio. You know, so if they're working on a project, the progression as it goes along, and all of them can participate. So absolutely. And once again, they can do it virtually. They can meet virtually. You want to give them that opportunity where they physically don't necessarily have to come, but also at the end they could do peer reviews and you know, in terms of the participation, to make sure you got a couple of, you know, one ending end and you know, not and many ending ends and not one chief doing all the work. So yes, we could be creative, and that's something we can help you with. And rather we use Soft Chalk, the Read Speaker, and all the other applications that we discussed here, VoiceThread is a perfect fit for you, because that's a project that they all can participate on, and you can actually go in and review and to look at what their comments are and grade them. So this software is available for you to do that. And we'll be more than happy to, to assist you. Yes. Well, for all low stakes content assessments, and that's multiple choice, all the students have to go through Respond this Lockdown browser. So that's non-negotiable. For the high stakes, because we have professors that have quarterly exams and midterms and finals, those are monitored with a proctor. Yes, it is. And let me say this, what we also do, we have the authentication process, which all the students have to show their ID, I am who I say I am, take a picture, and then more importantly, that's done for each student in every course. So that's a mandate. So they don't know when it's going to happen. It can happen in Unit 4, it can happen in Unit 5, but when they log in, they actually have to go through the authentication process to identify who they are. So we want to be creative about that. And let me say this, it's a deterrent. They don't know when it's going to happen, but it will happen. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to hang out for a little while in the event that you have any questions. I know I've talked about a lot of things and gave you a summary. Once again, I want to encourage you to go to the Center for Online Learning webpage to look at all the various technologies and services that are readily available for you. And if you don't use them, we'll lose them. Thank you so much.